Actually, Leave It to Beaver, some of the things are very interesting. Like the boys are always sent up to change for dinner. And we're always told to go up and wash. And people say that never happened. But actually, Mr. Conley, he had, as I said, I'd go over every once in a while to his house. His kids, I believe there were 6 of them, before dinner, you would go upstairs and wash and put on clean clothes before you actually came down to sit down to dinner. So people say, oh, they wash their hands, yes, but they didn't, most people didn't change clothes, but the Conleys did. But Conley and Mosier were also very aware that Leave It to Beaver was one of the first shows about an American family, and especially about from a child's point of view, to go around the world. Because some of the shows that were family shows showed in the United States, but they didn't have worldwide recognition. And so they were very, very conscious of presenting the United States in a very good light. Leave It to Beaver has played, and still plays in many of them, in 91 different languages in like 127 countries. I think what a lot of people don't understand, especially now, right now we're inundated with so many reality shows, and also a lot of the shows subsequent to Leave It to Beaver are very, very more reality based, even if they're situation comedies. If you watch most of the shows today, they're done by stand-up comedians, and they're set up joke. Leave It to Beaver is not like that. Leave It to Beaver, there are really no big laughs in the show. People say, well, but it has a soundtrack. But we didn't have a soundtrack. They would actually film the show and take it, and they would show it to a lot of the studio secretaries, and they had a theater, and they would record them. So it was actual people laughing at the show. But there aren't a whole lot of big laughs. The comedy comes out of the situation happening to the characters, but it's not joke orientated. Leave It to Beaver is not a documentary of the 50s, and I think that's what people sometimes, because it's in a different time, they think that that's the way or that we were trying to portray that that's the way the world was at that time. It wasn't that. They were writing situation comedy. So there were things that were stretched that would never, of course, happen, but it's not a documentary. It's a show that's about a child's eye and view of the world. And of course, that view is very jaded because he's so innocent that he believes that everything is going to go in a perfect way. And it's not a perfect world. Wally explains that to him. Eddie shows him what a non-perfect world it can be by coming in and totally telling him to do this, and you'll get all the riches or all this or all that. And that character is his arch nemesis. And of course the parents say, okay, now do this. But then Beaver says, but wait a minute, I saw you and you did that. Well, that doesn't matter. You do what I tell you. I had to do that, but he doesn't understand why his parents, and then Wally will come in and explain the ways of the world and how, yes, Eddie is his best friend, but don't listen to Eddie. Well, how can he be your best friend? Well, he's just kind of always around, and I've grown up with him, but don't ever do what he tells you. But Beaver's so innocent that Eddie can come in and just trick him. And Beaver's friends, a lot of them are the same way. You have Larry Mondello, played by Rusty Stevens, who is, his father is always away, he's a little overweight, and he's always eating, and his father's a salesman, and his mother's always saying, whenever Beaver and Larry get in trouble, when your father gets home, you just wait, because your father, he's gonna do. So he's kind of running wild, where the Beaver is the nuclear family. I mean, it's not a boy and a girl, but it's the two children, the father and the mother, and it's the nuclear family trying to get through life. And life is hard, especially for children, with all the lessons they have to learn to get through.